Welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Beto O'Rourke's campaign to return America to 1995 is off to a surprisingly rough start tonight. Instead of telling us more about his skateboard tricks and his sweet weed hookups, O'Rourke is apologizing for his skin color. Truly. We've got more on that just ahead. But first tonight, the Mueller report coming any day now. Now, to be clear, we don't really know that it is coming any day now, but everyone in Washington is saying that. But there are indications that it might be. Former acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker, for one, has said it's pretty much wrapped up. In any case, all of this will end at some point, and when it does, there will be chaos in the news business. Every interested party will work to spin it to their own ends. Before that happens, let's pause to put this in perspective and remember how the Russia hoax began in the first place. Throughout the 2016 presidential campaign, Hillary Clinton and her surrogates in the media attacked Donald Trump for his role in pushing the birther story. They didn't just argue that it was dumb to think Barack Obama was born in Kenya. They said it hurt America. They said it delegitimized Obama as a leader by casting him as an illegitimate president. Those are fair points. If you can't prove something is true, you shouldn't claim that it is. If you don't like a president's policies, argue against them. Offer a better alternative. Don't claim that he isn't really the president. That doesn't help the country. Somehow, though, Democrats learned the opposite lesson. And so for 3 years, they have pushed their own far more harmful conspiracy, the theory of Russian collusion. This was all invented, as you know, by the Clinton campaign for short-term political gain during the race. Newly unsealed court documents show how Fusion GPS, working on behalf of the Clintons, worked to publicize the fraudulent Steele dossier. The dossier was never more than gossip. No responsible news outlet would publish it, even those that hated Trump. Instead, Fusion pitched its lies to government officials. Fusion founder Glenn Simpson met with Bruce Ohr at the Department of Justice. Christopher Steele met with Jonathan Weiner at the State Department. Weiner spread the disinformation to his colleagues. Eventually, even President Obama and Jim Comey were briefed on the dossier. Never has unverified opposition research in a presidential campaign reached higher levels of government. Meanwhile, the press used this fact as a pretext for publishing the dossier. No, we can't prove it's true, but people in the Obama administration are talking about it. Therefore, it's news. The editor of BuzzFeed admitted that was the thinking on this show.
This document that is being fought over, and that, by the way, everybody except the public, in a certain sense, has seen. We've seen, and we don't have any special powers. At what point does the audience say, we can see this too, and we can deal with the fact that it is clearly labeled as unverified, that it's clearly labeled that some things in it aren't true, which is what we did.
I kind of get it. I mean, so what you're saying is because famous people are gossiping about it, and because other news
famous
organizations...
people, the President of the United States, the President-elect, and the intelligence agencies.
A famous person. I live here, trust me, they gossip too. And by the way, let me just note...
Not gossip,
the
official briefing, a document that, by the way, is a public document subject to the Freedom of Information law.
Well, actually, in some senses, gossip because it's unverified. And the difference between what you did and what Drudge did was what Drudge reported turned out to be true, whereas it looks like what you reported is not true.
Not gossip, official briefing, please. It was a ploy to defame a political opponent. Everyone knew that. And in fact, in the years since, no evidence has ever emerged to verify the dossier's main claims. It was fake then, it is fake now. But it still caused an awful lot of damage. That fraudulent dossier was used to justify the grotesque civil rights violations perpetrated on Naval Academy graduate Carter Page. It justified multiple congressional investigations, which ground government to a halt. It helped destroy a relationship with Russia. That didn't need to happen, but it did, thanks to this hoax. And, of course, the dossier justified hundreds, if not thousands, of totally irresponsible remarks by politicians and journalists. You may remember some of them. Congressman Ted Lieu said there was a, quote, cloud of treason over the White House. Eric Swalwell of California called Trump a Russian agent, quote, hiding in plain sight. Even Nancy Pelosi, who's supposed to be a responsible leader, who's old enough to know better, said it was certain that Russia was blackmailing the president. All of these were lies. Nobody's ever apologized for them. When the Mueller report does drop, whenever it drops, how will these people explain to their followers, the people who take them seriously, the NPR listeners, the people who read The New Yorker, the entire audience at CNN, why there's no proof of collusion in the document? According to one poll, 67% of Democrats believe it is probably or definitely true that Russia tampered with vote tallies to help Trump win. Now, in Washington, people know that's ludicrous. Everyone here understands the game. But out there, people really believe this stuff. Pelosi and Schiff and Swalwell told them it was true. MSNBC's entire lineup backed them up. Will those people be disappointed? Or will they just assume that Putin somehow got to Mueller, too?